Stef's world, and he doesn't need an introduction. Everybody knows him. TLC's 90 Day Fiance, Big Ed. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, you're welcome, Steph. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. Oh my gosh. So, first of all, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. The coolest thing happened. I'm at my sister's house last night, and it's about 10 o'clock. I'm ready to head home, and she's like, "No, you can't leave. You can't leave." I go, "I'm leaving." "No, you can't leave. I'll be right back." I'm like, "Where in the heck are you going at 10 o'clock at night?" And about 20 minutes later, she shows up with my daughter Tiffany. So she
Oh,
surprised me and bought me some fancy cologne from Neiman Marcus, and
that's
uh,
so
we're
sweet.
gonna spend the weekend together. Yeah, so very, very touching. And she got me a really nice card. It said "Happy 60th," and I'm not 60. I'm
You're
59.
25. Oh, I
I'm
thought you were
25.
25.
Yeah. I'm like
Okay.
I'm only It was kind of silly. She's like, "Well, my mom said that you're 3 years older than her." I'm like, so I did the math. I go, "Wait, let me do the math and make sure I am 59." And sure enough, I took
We lose track.
1965 minus 2024. Yeah, I'm 59. So yeah,
Who's
thanks for
counting?
asking. We're getting ready to go to dinner after, so
Nice.
it'll be a fun weekend.
Well, hopefully she spoils you. And I love your shirt. Can we
Oh,
buy those
hey,
on your website?
yes, you can. Yes, shameless plug. Thisisbiged.com.
I love it. It's neat. That's why I wanted you on. So I saw you're in the gym a lot recently. Have you always kind of been a gym person? Is there a motivation behind that?
You know what? There really is. Like you know, I see myself on TV, and friends would joke. I'm like, Ed, you're kind of gaining weight. And I go, well, the camera adds 10 pounds. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, but how many cameras are on you? Which is kind of a little joke. But,
That's
um,
mean.
but I know it's totally mean. Anyways, I'm single now, and I'm more concerned about my health than anything else.
Yeah.
I want to get off. I'm off of high blood pressure medication. I feel great. I'm still not getting enough sleep. I don't know why. Probably because I'm up till 3 a.m. watching Netflix. But um,
Uh,
but no, it makes you feel good. I just moved to a new home where there is a gym in the community, so I go to the local
oh,
gym,
nice.
and yeah, and I'm in there working out, and I'm feeling good. This morning, my daughter dragged me into Orange Theory. She's like, "You need to do cardio." I'm like, "Darn it, I hate cardio." But yeah, so I'm excited. I've lost about 19 pounds, and thank
Congratulations.
you so much. And as you'll see online, I'm always getting beaten up, or because I'm overweight, or they
People are mean.
oh they
People are cruel. You have to
yeah
be very tough to be
yeah.
a public figure.
Trust me, you have no idea. I spent a year and a half in therapy, and I'm still learning stuff. But yeah, I'm so happy that where I'm at. I'm excited where I'm going. I want to drop another 18 pounds as my goal. So hopefully I'll have a pretty nice body by the summer. So
That's cool. Well, we're rooting for you. My first HOA had a gym, and I feel like I was inspired more to work out too when I could just walk down the street to the gym. So,
oh,
what does
absolutely.
Big Ed watch on Netflix till 3 a.m.? What are your Netflix picks?
So I just started to rewatch Ozark.
Okay.
There is, I love, I'm a huge Jonathan Wick fan. Anything, snipers and spies, and I love Brian Reynolds. Just, I like that. I'm not a horror person. I don't like horror movies. I'm also a softie. I love, Shameless. I love the vow. Is it the vow?
Like romantic comedies
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
choice. I love inspirational romantic, shows.
Nice. So, we know you from 90 Day Fiance. I'm just
Yes.
curious because I'm a single parent dating. How do you find the websites for date overseas? Is it something you've always done or something you just started before the show? How do
Well,
you do this?
first of all, it was a total fluke. I had been single for many years, and I was actually a professional interior designer in San Diego. I had a great job, making really good money, and I was also a photographer, a professional. I've done covers. There's one of my covers there on the wall.
Oh, nice.
Shameless plug. Anyway,
Love
so
it.
I'm on Facebook, and this girl catches my eye, and I basically send her a friend request. She's in the Philippines, Rose, and we start chatting, and then we start FaceTiming, and I met her son, her whole family in a period of about 4 months, and she's like, "Why don't you come and see me?" I'm like,
Wow.
"Why not?" So I buy a ticket and I post that online, and everybody and their mother's like, "Oh my God, you're going to be on 90 Day Fiance." I'm like, "What are you talking about? What's the name of the show?" And I thought it was
Oh my
like
God.
the dumbest name ever. It's called 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I'm like, can't they call it something else? So
Yeah.
my buddy's like, sent me the link. My buddy Rich, I fill it out within 2 hours. They're like, we want to talk to you. 7:30 the next morning. They're like, casting Pam from LA is like, can we look at your social media? Well, I've been dancing on pool tables in a Nacho Libre costume for 12 years.
What?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm a card. I'm a funny, I'm out there. And
Yeah.
Pam's reaction was, oh my God, they just struck gold. And
Yeah.
you think, oh yeah, sure. And then you do the show. Actually, when I did the show, I came back like that was just dumb. I put mayonnaise in my hair. I told a girl her breath, this will make it pretty. I asked her to shave her leg. I mean, shave her leg. I mean,
It
I
was
did.
good TV. It
It
was
it
super good TV.
it was phenomenal. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It really wasn't me, by the way. But so I come back. I'm like, I just buried myself in the work. I had my best quarter in history, and I just prayed that the show would just kind of go away. Well, the trailer came out, and our opening episode was their highest rated in TLC
Wow.
history, and then COVID hit and there was
Oh.
nothing on TV, and I became the highest trending meme in the world.
That
So
is all good for
I
you. I
like the
love
view.
that
So
view, like,
yeah,
the
I like the
view.
view. Yeah,
I
that
like the
was
view.
it.
It's so popular, and
Yeah,
so many people use it as a voiceover.
yes. And I'm
Yeah.
like dubbed in I don't know how many different countries. So and at first I'm like, wow, I went from like 300 followers to over 500,000 literally overnight, and
That's crazy.
I was getting messages from all over the world, and it was just I was in Tokyo the March prior the filming, and I was there with a coworker, Cara, who was on the show. Her and her husband and I, we trained for 4 months to hike Mount Fuji,
Oh,
and
wow.
we're over there. So we're at one of these robot shows, and fast forward to when the show came out, I get a message on Instagram, hey, and she showed me the picture. We photobombed your photograph, and she's from Toronto. We're now really good friends. So
Oh my
she's an ICU nurse, and during COVID, we kind of really bonded. So I'm like, what a small, and that's kind of what you really realize is how not being on TV before, how small the world kind of really is.
It really is. I started in rock journalism, but then I moved on to some directors, and I realized that the music industry, the entertainment industry, now even reality TV, there's a lot of connections. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people have the same agents or PR contacts or attorneys. So
yeah,
everyone is interconnected pretty
yeah.
much. And
I
reality stars are taking off now as more A-list. It's
yeah.
not thought of like 15 years ago where, oh, they're not an actor. No, reality stars are getting up there.
Well, what freaks me out is how obsessed, and not just me, but how obsessed what we would call a celebrity, like Pete Davidson, for example, or Keenan from Saturday Night Live, how they're obsessed with reality stars in general because
Yeah.
they spend their whole life keeping their life out of the public, their personal
Yeah.
life, and reality stars do the opposite. Every people know more about me, Steph, than I know about myself. It's kind of weird.
That's
And
wild.
I would get shout outs on Saturday Night Live, and Pete Davidson even did a sketch with me in it. It's kind of a Citizen Kane where he's having a black and white, he's having a bar fight, and he's like, yeah, I just got in a fight with Big Ed from 90 Day or whatever, and then he's doing a
Uh,
podcast and just saying if I saw I'm Leonardo DiCaprio walking down the street, I'd be, oh, well, hey, there's Leo. But if I saw Big Ed walking down Fifth Avenue, and he lives with his mom lives with him, and he has a dog named Teddy, he's like, why do I know so much about this guy? So that for me was kind of a that's one of the few wonderful surprises being on reality TV, knowing that these A-list know who you are and
I
are
think you have
good.
it's easier to take the bad with the good because I
Yes.
know mentally it can take a toll on anyone, when people say negative things about everybody online, but then when you get something really positive and exciting like this, that
Yeah.
celebrities love you, people are following you and watching you and, just
Yeah.
ignore the haters because 'cause they're jealous.
Oh, I believe me, I know that. And I got to experience that firsthand. I had um I can't tell you how many and they make you famous like the haters.
Oh, yeah.
They're,
They're still
I like to
talking
say,
about you.
yeah, they're 13-year-olds and they're in a, or they're worse, or 35-year-olds living in their mom's basement. They don't work and they're just online spewing their vitriol. And I actually ended up in therapy because I started to read the comments,
Don't read them.
and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I talked to my brother, and he's like, look, if you walk through, life staring at the gutter, that becomes your life.
Yeah.
And when I got into therapy, which I recommend that to anyone, even if you're not screwed up like Big Ed,
Oh, me
and
too.
she's like, look, if you, there's a quote by, before I talk about that, there's a quote by one of my favorite, Carey, what's his name, Jim Carrey, and he talked about if you create a character on TV, um, and you can't separate yourself from who that person is, you'll go to your grave grasping for who you are, which is kind of what I went through. And I didn't understand why, people hated me so much. And when I got into therapy, I landed in therapy. She's like, look, there's Dana out of San Diego. She's the relationship store. She's amazing. She's like, look, there are two people sitting in front of me. There is Big Ed, the character that you created, and I actually created that character 30 years ago. And then there's also Ed the human. So the people that love Big Ed, I mean, are obsessed with Big Ed. I get marriage proposals. It's people try to send me money, and they leave candy at my door. They use, now that I moved, I'm secret, but
That
uh,
is so cool, though.
she's like,
Kudos
the
to
people
you.
that love you, they don't love Ed. They don't love Ed. They love Big Ed, the character that you create. And the people that hate you, the same thing. They don't hate Ed, the person. They hate the character that you created. So that was my biggest takeaway in therapy, realizing that. And I was much older when I got on TV to be able to handle it, but I don't know how. There's a lot of suicides that I hear this every other day. There's a
Young
reality
kids
star,
can't aren't equipped to
yeah,
handle it or
yeah,
process it,
or these kids that are bullied. I can't imagine. And I got through it. I'm doing really good. I get letters from people, all over the world. They're like, hey, I have what they call clipophile, which is instead of having a normal neck, instead of having 7 cervical vertebrae, I have 3 that are the size of 2. So I have limited movement. I have a bigger than normal chest cavity. That's kind of why I like to work out at the gym. So I look weird, right? And people see me, that they never forget me. And they're like, you rub mayonnaise in your hair, and I have the same, condition that you have. And how do you do it? Like, how do you just like let go of all your insecurities? And I'm like, look, don't let I wasn't going to let that define who I was. I was going to let the fact that I had this syndrome say, okay, you can't do this, you can't do this. And so that there's been a lot of good that has happened to me, and there's a lot that's more. I'm going to be chairing an event for it's to prevent SIDS. It's a golf tournament in
Oh,
Northwest
nice.
Arkansas. Yeah, it's called Remembering Nicholas, and they raise money to train caregivers, young caregivers, CPR. So they, in the event that this would ever happen to a parent. So I get to do that. I've done, when I was in San Diego, I used to drive up to LA with Frazee. He was an ex NFL football player, and I would attend their disadvantaged. It was a camp for disadvantaged kids, and so because I'm recognized by like, I became really famous on TikTok. So
Yeah.
like every 7, 8, and 9-year old knew who I was, and they would tell their mom, and then the mom would turn on the TV and watch. That's how their parents found me, is through their kids.
There's
So
a large age span that watch you and know who you are. Yeah.
absolutely.
So
And
I
with
was
that,
clicking around to find you and it on TikTok, it came up taco pasta and I'm laughing. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's like basically Ed called off a wedding because of a taco pasta recipe, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This sounds awesome, like great TV."
It
What is
really,
this
but
recipe or
okay.
why?
Well, first of all, here's what's really funny. I get I'm getting calls from producers in New York going, so how do I make taco pasta? And so I have to tell them, look, it's
What
like
is it?
it's like literally like you start like you're making like a taco, like you ground your beef. I start with onions, garlic, tomato. You ground your beef. You add tacos, actually the taco seasoning, and then the difference is you add like 2 pints of beef broth, or if you're vegan, vegetable broth, and it's kind of in a you do it in a kind of a bigger pot. You add your pasta and you literally cover it and let it simmer, and it's so good. And then
It
there's
sounds
other
yummy.
seasonings. There's Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning you put in there, bell peppers.
Mm.
You can add the cheese in. I wait and I kind of garnish it afterward. So I add the cheese and the sour cream, and once
Do you think
it's
I
done.
think you should start a cooking show now because of this taco pasta thing blowing up. You should have, like, Cooking with Ed or, like, a
Oh,
whole video. Have you made a video of you making it yet and posted it online?
no, I have not.
I think you should.
I've baked cookies before. I used to
Okay.
film, yeah, like before I was on, before the show aired, I was at Twitch. I was on Twitch, and I would game, and I had support staff. Jules, my media manager, she helped me kind of put it together, and my buddy Jesse, who that's the husband of Cara, who he's the one that when he first met me before any of this happened, he's like, "You're a meme." I'm like, "What's a meme?" He's like, "You should
Yeah.
have a face with your sticker on it," and I'm like, "What? Are you sure?" And so sure enough, now I have Big Ed stickers
I
everywhere.
love that you have stickers and
Yeah,
shirts and you're
uh,
super famous. You're
yeah, and
super well my friends were so excited when I said Big Ed's gonna come on the podcast. They're like, "We can't wait. Oh my god." They freaked out. Like, I mean, talking more than Papa Roach and System of a Down. They were like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, Big Ed." And I was like, "Yeah."
So I have something. It was kind of funny. So the stickers came out way before the show, and so when I got on the show, I mean, I'm not an idiot. So I would be like, we'd be on camera, and I would have my mug with my face on it, or or my
Yeah.
had my logo shirt on. And actually, when I went to the Philippines, um, I traveled with a pretty huge group with over 37 pieces of equipment. Like literally, they had an entire hotel room that was just full of cases. And I just went down, just putting my sticker on every single one of those. And the following, when we were done filming, some of those went to Russia. Some of them went to Australia, to England, to Germany. And then I'm getting calls from New York going, "Hey, how do I send us a bunch of stickers? Everybody wants a Big Ed sticker." So I pushed my brand. I kind of knew what I was doing. If I'm going to be on TV, and I'm going to give myself that this is who I am. And I wore these, and when I was in Tokyo months before, I was handing out my stickers, and I didn't even speak Japanese, and I would just hold it up to my face, and everybody would go nuts, and I would give them a sticker. So I've had a lot of fun with the branding part of what has happened to me, and
Yeah.
because
That's
you're
smart.
only but I didn't do it for the fame, honestly. And they don't really pay that much at all. A lot of my success kind of happened around the show, which if you
And
want to
you were
talk
really
about.
falling in love, right? I mean, like,
Oh,
you
yeah, totally. Like I,
yeah.
like being single for so long, I'm like, well, I meet this girl, and look, people were mad at me. My family's like, "You're nuts," and she just wants a green card. I'm like, well, of course she does. I mean, what young disadvantaged woman would want a better life for her son? I mean,
Yeah.
I got that, and I'm
But if the
older.
guy is secure and wants like, so I like dating younger, to be honest, and
Yeah,
I'm okay with me being the breadwinner. What guy doesn't want a hot young chick? And it's an
yeah,
okay agreement that you kinda know,
yeah, yeah,
y both's gonna
exactly.
benefit.
Yeah, but now dating that's another story. Now dating is interesting. I can't even go on a dating app.
Oh, yeah, they'd all
It's
recognize you, and
oh
they'd
I
wanna
get
date you just because 'cause you're Big Ed.
I'll drive 40 when I was in San Diego. I'm off them now, but I drive 45 minutes, and no offense, but women on these apps are just as dishonest as men are. They would
Oh,
put their
dating
high
apps
school.
suck.
They would put their high school, the best picture of themselves. I'm like, I would sit down at the table. I'd go, you look nothing like your picture. I'm not trying to be mean, but
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. She goes, oh yeah, that's me. I just wanted to meet you and have a beer. I'm like, darn it. So I immediately realized like there is no way that you know, and that's kind of why I'm going through my whole kind of
Transformation gym workout.
transformation. Thank you. I moved back to my hometown. I just got my real estate license. I just sold my
Congratulations.
second house. Yeah,
Oh,
and
wow. I
having
saw
fun with
that.
having
You
fun
you
with that.
posted, like, look at the view or something? It was an
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. So again, I'm not stupid. So I
That's
basically,
great
yeah, it's
marketing.
like I'm like you'll like the view, and I just did a mailer that went out to about over 1,000 homes in my neighborhood. That actually went out yesterday. So
Oh
I'm
my
doing the
gosh.
real estate thing, and people they lose when they meet me. It's so funny because it's such a small town. People are like, "What are you doing here? Why would you ever move here?" I'm like, "Well, I went to Bentonville High School. This is where I grew up. I left as fast as I could the day after graduation, but now that I'm older, I'm more established. And kind of more secure because when you're in high school, there's a lot of that class and popularity, all that
You care
BS.
more too. The older you get,
Yeah,
I think, like, I don't give a
yeah.
fuck anymore. That's
Exactly. Can I say that? I don't give a fuck.
yes.
And I'm reconnecting with all my high school classmates that we're planning our 40th reunion, and I haven't spoken to some of them in 40 years, and they're just like the nicest people that you would ever meet, and the stories that we share. I was actually because they were asking, well, how did this happen? They're all intrigued, and
Yeah.
because I was actually student body president of my high school,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
and then my senior year, I was at the same time I was also class clown, of course. So like Ed, when we saw you, we were like, of course, that's where this guy would land up. But what's kind of
That's
sad though
good.
is we just had dinner the other night, and I go, hey, so what do you do? Mark, I'm a surgeon. Oh my God. What do you do, Deanna? I'm the Benton County treasurer. Oh my God. What do you do? I run a makeup company, and I'm like, shoot. What do? I rub mayonnaise in my hair, and I shower with rats. That's what I do.
Yeah,
So, but I'm happy. I've never been happier
that's good.
being single, and the thing about you know uh, Liz, I was in love with her obviously, and with Rose, but if it doesn't feel right, I don't want to. The thing with Rose happened much more quickly. I,
Yeah,
I realized within 10 minutes, I don't know. I was already having concerns.
yeah.
But my
Things with
last,
Liz looked very genuine, like you
yeah,
guys were really in
yeah,
love,
yeah.
but
And
when
it's
it doesn't feel right, you gotta get out.
yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to put her through that. Like, I didn't want to, I knew 3 months prior to the wedding that, it just, it didn't feel right. And
Complications. Maybe more
complications.
than taco pasta, but the
Yeah,
taco pasta set
yeah.
it off, and that could
But
be the
the
trigger.
taco pasta was that night. My sister looked at, she just kind of came unwound like she does. And, we all get upset. Okay. Everyone gets
Yeah.
upset, but,
Your
um,
family wants what's best for you, though, and
right.
usually knows what's best for you.
Yeah. And they just looked at me like, don't do it. Don't do it. And so it was an opportunity for me to kind of just reassess, is this really what I want to do? Do I want to do this to her? And I don't want to make her life any more miserable. I just want her to be able to move on and meet someone and be happy. And I want the same thing for myself. And
Yeah.
I hold no animosity. I'll always have a place in my heart for her, always.
Aw,
And
that's
I
sweet.
even have a tattoo. Yeah, there it is. We got together, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's like our Gemini and Taurus. Like, are you gonna get rid
Aw,
of that?" I'm like, "No, that's
no.
part of my history."
I
And
have, like, 7 tattoos with exes, and I love them all because at that
yeah,
time, I was really in love and I wanted to have that tattoo,
yeah,
so no
exactly.
regrets.
So, but there's a really cool quote from Anais Nin. She wrote about eroticism in the 40s, and it went something like this. It's like each friend represents a world within us, a world not born until they arrive, but it's only by the meeting that the new world has begun. So
Ooh,
every person we meet, even
okay.
meeting we leave something and we take something with us. And so
Yeah,
for me, it's been a great way to kind of start over, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm really I don't feel 59. I feel, well, that's not true.
25. Remember,
Yeah,
you're 25.
yeah, my mind is 25, right?
Okay.
I'm not allowed to date anybody unless my broker's like, unless there's a 3 in front of her age, and I'm allowed to date her. I'm like, all right. Um,
Yeah.
but my body, I don't go out and party like I used to.
I
Um, and
can't. I
and
can't do it.
after a workout, sometimes I can't get out of bed. But so the
Yeah.
body is, taking some hits, but my mind is as young. My daughter thinks I should be on Adderall, but because I have ADD, I probably do. But
You get a
my
lot done though,
yeah, I know. But that's the scary part is that right now for me, meeting my classmates after 40 years, you're just like, what? Like, where did it go?
Yeah, time goes fast.
Yeah, and
Really
that's
fast.
something that as you get older, you're probably what, 27, 28.
I love you. Thank you.
Okay, you're totally hot. Anyways,
Thank
but
you. No, I'm not.
you remind me of a young Alanis, a young Alanis Morissette.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I dig
That,
her.
like a young one, like a
Sweet.
21.
No, we're not that far off in age, but thank you very
No,
much.
you're welcome. So, but my point is that we still, I'm still attracted, to younger women.
I'm the same way with men. I will be
And
like, "Oh, that's a hot 20-year-old. Oh my gosh, Steph, that's, you know, your age divided by 2." And he's not gonna wanna go for me. And so it's hard to switch your brain to like, okay,
yeah,
older's attractive, and
yeah.
I have to go
But
for my age.
But you know what's something funny? Even the guy that I work out with, he's like still in high school, and he goes, "Ed, I love women that are 25." I'm like, "Of
Yeah,
course you do, because they're
prime. That's like a
prime,
prime.
and they're done with the BS,
Yeah.
and I'm gathering friends, I'm dating again, thank God,
Yay.
and having a lot of fun with that. But you're no matter what the age is, as long as you are able to kind of be who you are. And
Yeah.
I would even joke with some of my friends. I'm like, you know what? I really hang out with people my age. They're 30 to 35, and they're like, Ed, wait a minute, you're not 30 to 35.
But that's how you feel.
But their mentality, like what they talk about, what they like to do. I just relate to that.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Ed, for taking a bunch of time out of your day and stopping by. I know you've got the big birthday dinner with your
Yep.
daughter,
Yep.
and we wish you the best of luck in the transformation and the gym. And thanks for stopping by the new podcast.
Well, thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Steph, take care.
You too.